Am I live yet? Oh, there I am. Awesome. All right, so I guess all of that was wasted. Listen, I had an idea driving home, and for once in my life, I actually had some time after I got home to work on it. I think it's a little insane. I don't know if this is going to make a good stream. If you got questions, throw them out. I'm checking. I'll look up and answer. About a week, like right when the season was about to kick off, someone asked me about how to make a projection model, and I was like, I can't fit that in right now. And then I had an idea for how you can backtrack projections from ranks, similar, based on the idea Tanho had, where use consensus ranks to create projection. It's actually pretty good compared to regular projection models like Mike Clay's. So I was wondering how I could increase that, so you don't just get the average points per game scored by that position rank, but how do you backtrack that into yards? Like what yards are you projecting, what touchdowns, what targets? So I'm trying to create the percentage of their PPR points on a per game basis that are created by those different components of fantasy. And then you could use that to create a projection, but also we could use that for rookies and stuff and projection ranks, but we could also use the player's average for how they produce points if they have a significant enough history. Anyway, so you're basically doing projections the opposite way around, but then you could have a team tab that could show you, when you sum it all up, what does that create in terms of a team prediction, and it would be like a fact check, reality check on your ranks. Well, for this to happen, Matt Ryan has to throw 800 times. That doesn't make sense. Anyway, I got really interested in it, and now I'm mid-grind on it. So hope some of that made sense. I am here. I'm in the small box on the left there. Unfortunately, I'm going to the StreamYard because it's more stable and just easier to send out. Football is back, Alex. It's true. But also, when I try and show them my screen, like, this is the best I got. So that's where we're at. Got questions? Throw them in. Also, if anyone knows what projection I'm missing, like I've got rushing, receiving, passing touchdowns, receiving, rushing, and passing yards, and also receptions, and yet I'm only, like, it's not accounting for 100% of their PPR points, which is just weird. Anyway. So passing yards. That would be that one. Receiving touchdowns, AZ. Special teams, maybe? I'm doing the average since 2010, if it matters to anyone. Hey, Spaceman. How you doing? Hey, joint grind. Appreciate it. You should come on the stream. We'll grind together. It'd be great. I don't have interceptions included. I nearly did, but here's the thing: they would account for minus points, which wouldn't show up on their PPR totals. So yeah, this 151 points from Lamar Jackson doesn't include missing points, so the percentage should still work out to 100%. If you know what I mean. We would have to project interceptions, so that's different. But I don't know. This should still be hitting 100. See, now what we need is the players' averages. So let's grab all their IDs. Don't look at my IDs. Anyway, let's just take all of that. But we would need the same thing, so that's cool. Easy things. On the average of that with the right player ID, and that's basically it. So we don't need any of that. Oh, come on. What if I got wrong there? Oh, okay. Oh. Well, that should work. If error always causes me a bloody headache. Got Dangerous Minds playing, if you can believe it. Why are we so blind to see? Working. That's annoying. Come on. That's why. It's meant to be AU. Mm-hmm. To sing. Oh God, I didn't even know I sang until I knew someone was watching me. It's just embarrassing. Where am I? in that one. Anyone got start-sit decisions yet? No? Me neither. Tell you what, a little bit on tilt about my Scott Fishbowl team. I was off to a 55-point lead, and now I'm 20 behind. He has Daniel Jones to go, and I have James Conner and Juju Smith-Schuster. So I got a lot riding on the Patriots, on the Pittsburgh right now. I'm really upset with the way my old deep wide receivers worked out. Technical point per game average. Let's go. Passing attempts per game. Passing attempts per game. There's so much to do with this. I know, man. Corey Davis might cuck you on that AJ Brown love. Golden Tate. Actually, you might want to check. Last time I checked, the reports on Tate doesn't look right in camp or in training. I don't know what that means, but I know it makes me nervous about him this week. I'm not saying change him. I'm just saying check, to be clear. There's no way to make this look exciting. I'm sorry, guys. It's not. The music in my headphones makes it feel exciting. So there's that going for us. What was I just thinking I needed? Ugh. I like Washington the player. I think he's more NFL than fantasy, but at this point, but Devontae Parker proved me wrong. Maybe Washington can as well. I think between Juju, who I expect to bounce back a little bit, Deontay, who proved to be very good last year, Washington's upside is as it ever was. But you're right. I mean, that's a plug and play if someone gets injured. It's kind of who you want for that variance, right? Sorry, my sheet's going to take a minute to populate here because I just asked it to do a lot. So I'm lagging real bad. It's my up with all this stuff. And currently 4 processors, according to Excel. I didn't even know I had 4. I don't. Oh, there it goes. Now the problem here is I also need rookies. This is something I did wrong last time. Yes, I can do this. What I want is an average column for players that don't have a history. So I'm just, hey, crossover, how you doing, bye? So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know yet. So we're taking the average, but instead of the ID, what we want is now I did know I danced before people were watching. I bop along quite happily to my invisible music, and I'm not ashamed of it. That's Korea. There. So we want them to be first years. We need them to be a certain position. Position. And let's say, let's give them a touch floor. What do you say? 50 sounds fair. So we're looking for the average of these numbers if they're rookies in their first year at that position since 2010 with at least 50 touches. That sounds like a fair average, right? I think it sounds like a fair average. What do you need for this week, crossover? We need a lot from Pittsburgh. Oh, it did not like that. What the hell just happened? What's that? Where's that formula go I just wrote? It's doing something. Gonna leave it alone a minute. Yeah, if you've got money and you want to grind, don't use your very cheap laptop because you don't have a lot of money. Go get yourself a good desktop. Are you ready yet? No. Apparently, I got to rewrite that. Apparently, don't know where that ended up. Okay. I'll try again. It's okay. That position. Gotta be year one. This might be the part it's having trouble with the touch floor. Let's save it this time. Oh, what? Haha. Oh, I hate doing this. Check it out. Just trying to run this calculation right here. My brain. This is going to be a very manual process because I don't have the columns lined up in the right order to drag it. Apologies. Check out, there's some interesting numbers. Rookie wide receivers. 34% of their PPR points on average come from receptions. Nice. Where did I stop? Right there. My brain. Oops, speeding up. Anyone got something else they want to depend on for this week? Other than Pittsburgh? We got a lot of Pittsburgh hopes. Nearing the end. What are you grinding on there? I really wish I'd chosen a different term than grinding. Anyway, what you're grinding on in your spreadsheets there, Spaceman? Lord knows we don't have week 1 data yet. Is Corey Davis going to play? Anyone know? Last I heard, it was a game time decision. Does RotoViz have air yards now? Because that would be great. RotoViz does? Alright, I'm going to have to grind weekly stats earlier than I imagine. Be careful with it, man, because you're going to need Monday's data in there. And so you have to redrag it all. But I mean, you know that. I just remember why I don't do it so early. Alright, neat. Look at that. We got averages for players and positions. Now we need to figure out how to calculate it. Need to get a helper column. Yep, that's the entire extent of my dancing, by the way. All right, so I'm close to getting to somewhere where you can see what I'm trying to do. All right, let me expand here. All right, so you put in position ranks here, right? Lamar Jackson, wide receiver 1 this week, whatever. And it looks up the average points scored per game of the quarterback 1, right? And we can do different scoring systems later if we want to. But how many rushing attempts, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns does that typically mean? Well, we're going to have to look up the percentage of his points that are typically of these and then multiply it. You see what I'm doing? I'm backtracking it. So now I know. Actually, I can't do rushes yet. It's going to be a product of something else. But anyway, how many rushing? The percentage of rushing, percentage of his points that come from rushing is 33%. Rounding up to 34. Times this. No, it's not working. Right, 0.1, right? There you go. That's it. I have to have the scoring system in here. TDs 6, targets 1, reception. Oh, targets 0, receptions 1, receiving yards 0.1, nothing there. 6, passing attempts 0. Completion 0. Passing yards 0.04 for passing yards, isn't it? 4 for passing touchdowns. Woo! For real. It's working weirdly well. What am I working on? That's a good question, Zach. I'm trying to work out a way that people can create their own projections simply by inputting their ranks, and then they can see maybe where they're high or low for what's a realistic average without having to do all the work of projections. All they'd have to work on is their ranks and then see the result. You see what I mean? Tannehill once created projections simply using the consensus ranking of players, and it came out about as predictive or as good at predicting players as like Mike Clay's model, as my model, as all the models he tested it against. So I'm trying to extend that a little further. If you can predict within a reasonable margin of error the PPR points of a player based on consensus rank, let's say that's the prior, right? That's what Tannehill was saying. That's what he thinks he found. I believe him. What does that mean for a projection? Can you backtrack those PPR points into rushing, receiving, passing yards, and touchdowns? And then from that, you could create team expectations, and you could see where those ranks maybe are really too wild because it creates too much expectation or too little for the team even. So there might even be an additional benefit to that R-squared value of consensus ranks. Now, the difficulty in that is you've got to know the percentage of their PPR points that come from the different areas of the game, which I've calculated. And then you've got to use that to calculate what the raw stat would be based on that average PPR point projection using the ranks and Tannehill system. And then you have to use that to extrapolate based on their average or their rookie average, the average of rookies, efficiency, how many attempts at creating those yards, touchdowns with, and that creates a prediction. So it's all a little backward, and it just takes me a second to figure it out. For example, all right, here's what we're doing. So Lamar Jackson, right? If we rank him as the quarterback one for the week, the quarterback one on average since 2010 scores about 21.9 fantasy points per game. Now, obviously, we expect more from Lamar Jackson, but stick with it. That's an average. All sorts of different quarterbacks produce that number. So we know that Lamar Jackson, or I now know that Lamar Jackson produces about 27% of his PPR points through the passing yards he creates. He creates about 33% of his PPR points through rushing yards. So using those percentages in rushing yards, I take that, I'm looking up that rushing average, multiplying it by the PPR points projected. So you see the number of PPR points that are going to be accounted for based on that percentage from rushing yards, then multiplying it by the scoring system of 0.1 points per rushing yard. And eventually it backtracks that he's going to create 74 rushing yards if he's a quarterback one based on the average projection. And from there, I extrapolate, well, what's his yards per carry? Just a simple stat, which is terrible, but we need a number to create rushing yards. So on average, he rushes for about 5.85 yards per rush attempt. Well, if he's rushing for 74 rushing yards based on this, then he should rush about 12 times if he's a quarterback one on a given week. And so you can see how I'm backtracking this to yards and using his efficiency to his rushing attempts as well. And so we're using just this number from a position rank. This is the only thing we enter to create an actual projection for his game. But that's just rushes. I've also got to account for receiving and passing, and also players that don't have decent averages. Like Lamar Jackson, we've seen enough of them that, this makes sense to some degree, that he's going to get a lot of rushing yards if that's the points he scores. But what about, I don't know, Joe Burrow, right? See? So I'm going to need a rookie average. And also I'm going to have to start calling Mitch Mitchell. I'm going to have to go figure out Mitch. Anyway, but that's what I'm working on. An engine that you could, anyone, my Patreons or anyone I show it to, can choose the positional ranking. It looks up there or the position or rookie averages division of PPR points and then creates a projection from it. Yeah, that's right for Racer Spaceman. I'd have to go check the formula to be absolutely sure, but yeah, that's what I remember it as. I'm looking up the article while I was going to Google. Did that make sense, by the way? So all anyone using the engine would have to do is worry about the position rank. Because everyone can do ranks, or everyone's comfortable just saying, Patrick Mahomes is where he won this year, so on and so forth. And then it adjusts to what he typically does, is the idea. Oh, okay. It's not looking at Mahomes. Okay. Again, too many errors because I'm running instead of walking, trying to get it done. I just did a lot of work. The time I spent on this should have just been one of these stats, and instead I've done like 50. So let me fix these formulas here. I thought it could be. It's better than, creating an entire projection course or trying to get everyone to do it the way I do, because I don't want them to for a start. Like I do it a certain way. It's very labor intensive. It's a system designed to help out a product that a website puts out, not something to do for yourself, which is a very different thing, in my opinion. You got to be able to manually adjust, include variants for takes and opinion, Instead of just creating a median, you're creating a median with different. I don't know anyone could truly understand that unless they've ground the sheets. So it's a little too much. Do something for themselves. You don't need to faff with all the shit I faff with. If I can finish it as well, that's the other thing. Like, I thought I could just bash this out, and the more I look at it, it's like, no, like all projections, this is a hassle. Here we go. We're starting to get Mahomes projections. Oh, crap. Are you kidding me with this stuff? And the lag, by the way, I'm not blaming my internet like I typically do today. My last case of me. It's trying to stream me music. It's trying to project out to you. It's trying to work on a way too complex spreadsheet. Give the fella a break. It'd be a great time to start sick questions. Just a thought. Something nice and easy. That's terrible coffee. Inside of my head. All right, let's see you. 89% ready. Man, I pushed this thing too far. My homies. Goes down. There we go. Let's do passing now. Okay. I know what I did wrong there. Forget that. I didn't create a floor. What? Anyway. If you double click and it doesn't have a guide column, it just like freaks the fuck out. Yeah, I know I disappeared there for a second. Sorry. Oh, come on, predictive text. Mm-hmm. So how are we going to get attempts and completions from yards? I guess we'll need yards per attempt. Just something simple. You got yards per game. Shit. Have to go back to the source. There it is. Another pause while it runs yards per attempt. I'm going to hide behind my spreadsheet. So, how's your nights? Day? I spent last night rolling around in extreme tooth pain. Anyone cares for some insight? The 4 hours I gave myself to sleep. And then I went to the courthouse and got a brand new driver's license, which is fun. Updated my tags. Did some house chores when I got back, and then you saw me here. Exciting stuff. Looking forward to football to brighten it up a little bit. I'm going to turn the music off. It's just too much. Didn't get to see it. Box score kind of fit low expectations, if I remember right. It's rough with Harry, man. No, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, I have a maybe above average rate hit on the players I'm positive of, especially for rookie evaluations. But my hit rate on players I'm down on is pretty fucking good, which is unfortunate. It's not a great edge to have, but it helps. Although Paris Campbell's looking to add another one to the miss column on players I wasn't in on. Where are those stats? There they are. Let's see. I mean, I don't hate 6 targets. Actually, that might be the most. That target rate might be the most positive thing I've seen on Harry since he was in the draft. Kind of love that. Hey, it ran it. Nice. So we need the efficiency stack formula. Should be this one. This, but instead of looking up that, I know a lot of very technical words here. We're going to be looking up this. Passing attempts. Yards per passing attempt. 7.4. Cool. Which means nope. That's your yards per passing attempt. Then yeah, divided by this. Huh? Any attempts? Okay. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Now that would be in this column. Well, we could do completions, but let's not. Let's keep it simple for now. So we need that. This. All right. So now it's projecting passing attempts through passing yards per passing attempt, which kind of sucks, but you know. 1.3. That all seems reasonable for a Lamar Jackson projection of 20 points, frankly. All right, so receiving yards. Already doing it. Yards per reception. So we need the efficiency formula. We're going to be looking up yards per reception. I guess it should be racer and air yards, but I'm just trying to keep it real simple for myself. I'm gonna end up backtracking all of this and turn it into air yards, aren't I? I just realized. I'm not gonna let that stand. Anyway. Oh, don't tell me I don't have it. I have Racer. Okay. Okay, bro. I'm looking at Racer now. Yeah. So how do we get from Racer to Target? Good question. That's interesting. Anyway. I don't know. Honestly, I don't. We need to be projecting air yards instead of receiving yards. I know what we need, I think. Oh, I didn't import that either. Fuck. No, I'm gonna need more. Any more stats, bro? Okay. Mm-hmm. 83% complete. I mean, imported A yards to the player tab at least. Dabba dabba dabba. Oh. Doing this in one sitting might be too much. Just gonna be honest. Da, 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 da. Where'd you all go? Boom. So I needed a refresher on how to calculate receiving yards from air yards. So dot targets is what we want. All right. Now we have to do a little algebra. The receiving yards is racer times A dot times targets, apparently. Check that doesn't seem right. Oh, okay. That's what I'm getting it wrong. It's essentially right, but the brackets in the wrong place. So if we know we're receiving yards, So target should equal heaving yards divided by racer divided by A dot. Now I have to go to a player with a projection. Kittle, sure. No. It's going the wrong way around, obviously. Oh, why is algebra so hard? It's not actually hard, my brain's just not working properly. Damn it. This thing's wigging out. simpler than I'm making it. I don't know why I'm... Okay, fuck. Why was that so hard? I kept putting a bracket in here, I guess. Tracking air yards to stats. For some reason, my brain blanks on it every single time. Okay. Fact checks. Running backs work differently. Yeah, that's right, though. Okay. God damn. I can't believe it says I still had 3 people watching after I was staring so intently at that with no... All right, so all the formulas are now in there to create projections from a PPR average based on positional rank that we can change. So if we change Lamar Jackson to 3rd, he gets a different PPR rank and therefore a different projection based on what he should do, given the percentage of where his points come from on average. What we have to do now is account for everyone that isn't normal. Rookies and people without an average, and running backs. I remember having this argument with Tannehill about how air yards don't work well for running backs. Well, look at this. Look at if you use air yards for running backs, you're just tortured, basically. Look, it's saying Joe Mixon has to get 23 targets to get 24 receiving yards. There's a simple way of beating that, which is there's Racer. If that is less than 0, and do this times -1. If not, just do that. I think that's the way to do it. No, another bloody bracket in there. Okay, -1 times -1 should equal 1. Oh. Five times minus 1 equals 5. So that should help out with the running backs. It's where they get minus races. It really messes with it. So now Mixon, where was he? Now has to get negative targets. Wait. Okay. That's one. Let's see what I'm going to do. I hate running back races. In my projection model, I've literally just torn air yards out of running back, and I use more regular receiving stats because it's such a nightmare. We'll come back to it. I'm just going to fix rookies. That'll be easy because we actually built that in. Call me crazy. Having a rookie column is always a good idea. So now everyone that doesn't have an average, or which, is rookies, or just hasn't played a lot, or there's insufficient data, they're just going to take a rookie average. We can get more complex with it at a later date, if we choose. I think a rookie average is generally fair. much just me. Oh, come on, man. Lazy typing. Oh, I can hear my son's up. I just heard him sign on to his Xbox. Should probably get out of here. That means people are going to need feeding and stuff. He's taking a nap. He was up late playing Xbox, funnily enough. Getting rid of quarterback ADOTs. Oh, crap. Okay, so maybe that was a little crazy. We just applied the rookie formula to everyone. In my database, I scrape air yards, total air yards for quarterbacks, and where they don't have an ADOT, but I want something in there. So I'm just adjusting for that. Apply all of that to every cell. Now, where were those errors coming in? Done. I remove full stops from names if I have anything to do with it, but where I'm dragging stats from a place where I don't have anything to do with it for this, I remove it from the source data. So we forgot some. There it is. All the way down, please. So now, as well as rookie averages, we just want player averages. Average player. Right, gonna need a helper. So now we want the averages for any player, not just players in their rookie season. So I'm removing that, what do you call it, proviso clause in the rookie formula, which means we should just be able to drag it up and do the others, which will be neat. This has already been wildly labor intensive. Oh my god, how many stats? Okay. So now we should be able to drag those up. All 4 positions. When the coffee runs out, I'm out. Okay. All right. So now I realize we don't just want to look up this. We also want to look it up in a different column, which is A. No. Well, I have to do all this. I have these position rank things. Oh, you squiggly bastard. I was crazy for doing a rookie column. All right. Rushing yards, percentage of. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. All that work. I nearly ignored it. Yards per carry. Right down. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Receptions. Receiving yards. Alright, I'm having to redo all of this because I was not using the right stuff. I want to use position average, not just the average of whatever. hate the way it autofills that. I'm sure it's very useful sometimes, but never for me. Now we need average racer for position ranks. Right there. A dot. Here. Average receiving touchdowns. Let's help a column. Lock the columns. Do this again. Yards per attempt. Okay. Oops. Passing percentage. Lock. Some TDs percentage. Okay. We're getting there. Passing TDs percentage. God damn, tired. All right, because he was projected out. 12. There we go. I guess we should also put in, Oh, the last thing I'm putting in here is another if error formula. All else fails, they don't have a projection rank, and for some reason it's coming up nada. It's just gonna say 0. I guess I could change that to NA, but let's just get the formula in there first. 0 is always a good idea, because if you put in text, it always sorts it, text being the highest value, and you're trying to sort columns that can get in your way. Luckily, this is a fairly easy one to add in, so take about a fourth of the time. Look at that, I'm at the end already. Okay. Final results. Let's just rank these quarterbacks randomly, shall we? Okay, we'll delete that now. All right. I guess the only thing I can think to do left is to modify when we're looking from, because let's make it more recent, shall we? Now, the thing about this is if you're always projecting Lamar Jackson as the quarterback 1, it's essentially always going to give you the same projection. That's just something I thought of. So we could perhaps adjust this PPR rank based on, or this PPR scoring based on Vegas lines, which would adjust it, interestingly. And this is giving you a weekly rank. And it's not projecting interceptions yet. I mean, that's easy enough to build in, actually. But anyway. Right, now the part that actually got me interested. $33. Okay, there you go. Pass attempts, rush attempts, air yards, pass TDs, rush TDs. No. Rushing attempt. What is rushing? God. Okay. So, calm down. Bill. Interesting. Running back races still needs to be fixed. Look at this shit. 150 targets. Really, bro? Don't need air yards data for quarterbacks. I just don't right now. I have to fix running back receptions, but, you know, one bit at a time. Kind of happy the way it's coming out so far. All right. I like it. Most of that looks reasonable. The only thing that's off is this target section, and it's because of running backs. God, running back racer. Let's go look at it. And that's where it's at. Oh, we need to fix the ADOT as well. Okay. Joe. Joe. So off about Joe Mixon's numbers, man. Part of the problem, we've got multiple copies in our player tab. Oh, it's difficult to fix right now. Outside of Joe Mixon, though, it feels pretty good. I'm assuming there are others. It's not just Joe. Apparently, Mark Ingram needs 150 targets to get to 12 receiving yards. Running back racer is kind of fucked. Okay. We might have to go with best racer or highest racer just for running backs, just to get this in some sort of finished state. All right. Can't do MaxIf in this version of Excel. Shit. Okay. What the fuck? Sorry, guys. I forgot you were there for a second. So what I'm doing is, if anyone's sticking around for these last 5 minutes after I haven't spoke for 10, is a hack, basically, because there's no way to fix running back ratio. You either have to convert to yards per reception, but it's only for a few little running backs, like Joe Mixon. It happens to Joe Mixon a lot, apparently. So what I'm doing is, as I'm telling it, if the ratio column is a minus number, for one thing, it converts it to a positive number in order to calculate these numbers. That's something you just have to include for running back. But I'm also saying in the A dot column, if it's a running back and this is a minus number, then give them an extra yard in their A dot, which, as you can see, it brought Joe Mixon's down because it now looks like he's boosted his efficiency, essentially. Where's Ingram? Because he's the other one it was happening to. Yeah, he's gone down from, needing 150 targets to needing 3 to get to 12 receiving yards, which is a lot more reasonable, right? That makes a lot more sense. What I'm noticing here, though, is Dalvin Cook needs 27 targets to get to 31 yards. That doesn't seem realistic or true of Dalvin Cook. So, what's going on with Dalvin? Dalvin, boy, fella, pal, why'd you have such weird receiving numbers? He just does. That's just what running backs do. Apparently. Anyone else look weird? Looks, high, but it's fine. Okay, so rookie averages are a little weird for that. All right, let's see if it buggers anything up too much if I make it 5. Yes, it's entirely arbitrary. No, you shouldn't have to do this. This was statistics. Just bugger off, okay? It's calculating it, in case you were wondering. It's all the formulas in this are active right now, and that's just too much for it. Convert them to values once I get happy with the way it's working, but like right now, I'm having to adjust the formulas to account for an error. So if they're all values right now, I'd have to redo all the formulas. Come on, Dalvin, get in line. You can do it. Okay, now we need 3 targets to get to 31 receiving yards. Seems a little more reasonable. But I converted it to 1.5, so. What's going on right now? Okay, let's just get some perspective on this. Okay. It's not too terrible. Can we... I like to use as little of a cheat as I can, so can we... That doesn't seem realistic. Alan Cook is not going to have a 30% catch rate. Okay, it's just... There we go. I just have to boost Cook. I mean, I can't think of another way of... It's just some running backs. Yeah, we got a big problem. Well, not a big problem, but it's a snafu between running back efficiency in the receiving game. Look, it's not just doing negative things like making Dalvin Cook like really, really weird. It's also making like Christian McCaffrey catch more passes than he gets targets. So yeah, I got to figure out running back receiving work. Other than that, I think it looks fairly well. If these were our ranks, I'll be projecting Cleveland to throw the most. Interesting. Oh, I tell you what, here's an interesting one. We'll be producing the most PPR points. New Orleans, okay, that adds up along with Kansas City, Las Vegas, interestingly. Worst, Washington, okay. Yeah, that fits what my rankings would have looked like. All right, so I doubt anyone's ever going to watch this in their entirety, but patrons, if you're out there, I'm trying to make a projection model for you that's not overly complicated to use. It's based on sound logic, but it isn't actually a projection model. Again, if you rank the exact same player at the exact same position, it's going to spit out the same number because I'm not yet adjusting for Vegas lines, which is something we can build in. I think that'd be interesting. But right now, I just have to get it working, and that means fixing running back receiving efficiency. Which I'll be honest with you, I haven't even fixed in my own model. I just tore it out and I put in yards per reception for running backs. Specifically for running backs, we just use the old stat because air yards and running backs don't mix well, man. They don't. All right. Is there anyone left? I see 3 viewers. I'm assuming you're all AFK. Is that the term? You just left me running. I appreciate it. Getting in my streaming hours to keep up my Twitch, whatever it is, account, I guess. I've been at this for 2.5 hours, and I was at it for about an hour before I came on. And that's why a course on building a projection model probably isn't that popular. I mean, this is just a mini thing. Can you imagine teaching how to build a big thing? Not even building an actual full scale, but teaching the elements. I mean, I tried with that course, and I think I got summarily mocked, and then no one signed up for it. So I don't know what all that effort was about. But yeah. Anyone? I'm gonna go check Twitter. They might be telling me I'm not even online. What if I increased it from technical to actual? Points per game. Have interest. Yeah, we're still getting this problem. I like the higher projections though, so we'll stick with it. You know, high is good. Okay. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. Can't start the thing anymore. Okay, Mike Evans from Malcolm Brown. That was a steal. I was wondering if he caught that touchdown late, and I was wondering if that would stop the sheer panic, but apparently not. Apparently not. I still have work to do on this one, Spaceman. I don't know how I'm gonna get receiving in line for running backs. Kind of ridiculous the way they won't just behave with air yards because they get the ball behind the line of scrimmage so much for obvious reasons. People tell me that it works just fine, and I don't believe it. Oh, Mike Williams also has to have a 10% catch rate. Wow. Yeah, I got to figure out these targets. Other than that, I kind of think it's an interesting little prediction-y scheme where you can just rank the players and then it adds up the team totals. And, I don't know, it's interesting. Simple might not be the word, but simple for people to use, I think, if I can get it working. All right. I'm going to get off. I got to take a break before I start actually grinding real stats instead of playing with my little fun thing here. And the coffee's gone, so I'm gone. All right. Cheers, guys. Goals, everything in between. Really appreciate talking to you four, you three, you two, you one at one point for a little while. Yeah, let me know what you think of this idea. I don't know. It's interesting. And I will see you again soon, I'm pretty sure, since this is all I do. All right. Bye.